Big Mike here with
Hayes Entertainment
and Copes.
Hey.
Today's episode, we got an absolute beauty. We got Tommy Chong from Cheech&Chong.
If you like what we're doing, roll it up and fire it up. If you're looking for a mug, perhaps a hoodie, head on over to IOnlyTouchGreatness.com.
I'm Tommy Chong, and I'm going to be on I Only Touch Greatness podcast. So come on, check me out.
We the best, just like Gavin says, we the best. We stay hot to death, we the best. Always down to wreck this Hayes Entertainment, what you know about that? We the best, just like Gavin says, we the best. We stay hot to death, we the best. Always down to wreck this Hayes Entertainment, what you know about that?
The #1 sports podcast in Vancouver with Ryan Hayes and Big Mike. Roll it up and fire it up.
Am I driving okay?
I think we're parked, man. You okay?
I can't breathe.
What's the matter?
I can't breathe, man.
Hey, I got something to mellow you out, man. You're just freaking out. Here.
I never smoked no shit like that before.
Take these,
What?
man. Take these. This'll
What
mellow
is
you
this?
out, man.
What is that, man?
Just take them, man. Oh. Hey, don't take those, man.
What?
I almost gave you the wrong shit, man.
Hey, man, I already took them, man.
Whoa.
Hey, what do you mean? Whoa.
Wow, man.
Hey, what was that shit, man?
You just ate the most acid I've ever seen anybody eat in my life.
Hey, man, I never had no acid before, man.
Geez, I hope you're not busy for about a month.
Shit, I'm gonna die, man.
Hey, Tommy.
Howdy.
How are you?
How's it going?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Good, thanks. We appreciate you taking the time for us. And
Hey, well, why not? I got nothing to do but be locked down.
yeah, that's for sure. Well, I'm Ryan, by the way.
Brian?
Ryan.
Like, okay,
Yep,
Ryan.
like Ryan Reynolds, the only other famous Ryan from Vancouver here.
Oh, are you from is this from Vancouver, eh?
Yeah, we're all up here in Vancouver.
Oh, good.
You own a place here, right? Because
I still do.
oh, okay. I'm also. We'll touch on that in a second. Here, I'm also joined by Big Mike.
Big Mike. Nice to meet you.
Big Mike.
Yeah.
Hey, Big Mike. How are you doing?
Good. Nice to meet you.
Where are you from? Surrey?
No, Coquitlam.
Coquitlam.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were over in North Van, weren't you?
West Van.
West Van, okay.
West Van in the Billionaire Row there.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Mike, shoot with your first one.
All right. You were born in Alberta, correct? What was life and childhood like?
Edmonton, Alberta, but I moved to Calgary. I was kind of raised in Calgary. My childhood was pretty interesting. Yeah. I can go into detail, but it was it was a true Canadian upbringing.
Yeah.
Okay.
A cold one.
Well, I learned to skate on a frozen road. Put it that way.
Wow.
You know, there was no ice skating rinks near us.
Oh.
There was ponds and there were frozen roads, and if it got packed pretty solid, you could skate on it. You know.
Oh.
You play any other sports growing up?
I played little baseball, little football in high school for a bit. You know, for 1 year. Yeah. Love sports, you know. But I was in Army Cadets. That was my you know, that explains a lot if you know Canadians.
Yeah.
If they've gone to Army Cadets, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So their base is over there as well in Alberta, right?
Well, yeah, in Calgary. Well, I think every city has an Army cadet place, and then the camp was in Vernon, BC, in British Columbia.
Oh.
Okay.
Mike, you love Vernon.
I do, yeah. My whole wife's family's from there, and I go there like 15 times a year, so it's a pretty good time.
Oh no, it's great. Vernon's wonderful, wonderful. And yeah, every summer you get the cadets, so you've seen the cadets, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like a tourist. They're a tourist attraction in some ways.
Yeah,
They are.
There's so many of them.
Yeah, did you have a favorite sports hero growing up?
Bodybuilding, I guess, ended up being my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, I wasn't good enough to play hockey or football, so all my limbs and I don't have any concussions.
So, Tommy, they forgot. This is Andrew. They forgot about to introduce me over here. How's it going? Just kind of left me hanging off here in the corner.
Would he just wake up? You just woke up? Okay.
Hey, how's it going, Tommy? So, just touching base a little bit. You still own here in West Van. I know it's been a while since you've been up with COVID and everything.
Yeah, long time.
Have you been up in 2020 at all, or? No,
we haven't been out of the house. We've been locked down for coming on almost a year now.
Wow.
Yep.
Going crazy or what? I'd be going insane. My wife would have killed me 3 times over by now.
Do you think so?
Oh, hell yeah.
No. One thing about hibernation, you get used to it. All you do is time places in between where you're eating and sleeping. And then you try to think of things to do in between those times.
Well, that's where we smoke a lot.
Yeah, well, that's what I do. I do cameos, so in my cameo, everybody always want to smoke up with me. And so I can't disappoint my fans, so.
Hey, you can always,
of course.
You can always fire one up on here at some point today.
If required, sure, no problem. I'm all set, ready to go.
All right.
Hey, Tommy, when did you actually start smoking weed?
In Calgary, I was, I guess, 17 years old. A jazz. There used to be a jazz club there in Calgary. What was it called? The Flat Five? Yeah, and you go hang out at night after if you were a musician. And I was a musician. I never played jazz, but I could carry a guitar case into the room. And then they let me in, and then I made friends with a lot of them. And one day, a Chinese jazz player by the name of Raymond Ma came down, saw me, and he says, "I got a present for you." And actually, 2 presents. He gave me a joint of some Mexican weed and a Lenny Bruce record. And the Lenny Bruce comedy record. And so I put the joint in my pocket. And so then Raymond, he lit up one of his own. He had another one. And so he lit up a joint, and I toked up, and that was the first time.
The rest is history.
Pretty amazing. Yeah.
Hey, do you have a favorite Christmas movie?
I like Alf.
Okay.
Good choice.
Alf cracks me up. But I've been watching all sorts of television and cable and these little docu-dramas or shows, TV shows. I've been having a ball, man. I mean, I'm in heaven.
If you could sit down for dinner with anybody, who would it be? Dead or alive?
I guess Jesus. I guess he'd be the cool guy.
That's 2 days in a row we've heard that answer, actually. And
Yeah,
it makes
because
most sense.
there's no tab.
That's right.
He picks it up. You might have to eat bread and fishes, but still. You know.
So what did you guys call it in the 70s and 80s?
What's that?
What did you guys call weed in the 70s and 80s?
In the 70s and 80s, pot, boo, Yeska. We got it on our license plates and up and smoked Yeska.
And also said muff diver.
Weed. Oh yeah. Well, that's not a. That's the guy that smoked the right amount of weed.
Yeah.
That's what you call that guy.
The guy that also notices the license plate, though. I always remembered. I always wanted to have my license plate up here, MUFBVR.
Yeah. What cracks me up that they sell them in the stores, and so I guess they don't know what. It's a funny joke, but I crack up every time I see one of those muff divers.
You see a lot of different guitars up there on your wall there, Tommy. Which one of your favorite ones? What's the best story that you have behind one of them?
Well, this one here, this guy here, is the oldest.
Okay.
It was belonged to my mother. When she was pregnant with me, she bought a cheap Sears guitar. I think $15, I think. It had a hula girl on the front, and eventually, when I was separated from my mom when I was a baby, but when we got back to all living together, she had the guitar, and I used to play around with it because I had a musical ear, and so eventually I ended up playing it with a fiddle player in a field across the field from where we lived. So I got good enough. I was 8 years old. I was good enough to play for dances.
Wow.
And so I was a professional musician at 8 years old. At least once a week, sometimes once a month, or maybe once a week, I'd have a gig. And that went on for a few winters. And then I went to Army Cadets and I started playing backup guitar with another native guitar player. Dick Bird. He's deceased now, but he became the first Elvis impersonator in Calgary.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Because we were around when Elvis hit the scene, 54, and so Dick became an Elvis impersonator, and I was his backup guitar player. That's how I got on the stage, and then eventually I ended up, being in a hot rhythm and blues band, and the rest is history.
Yeah, you were in a couple of bands. What were the name of the bands again?
The Shades was the first.
Okay.
The Calgary Shades.
Okay.
And then we moved to we got kicked to Vancouver, and that's when the Shades broke up, and then the same group, same singer, he put a group together called Little Daddy and the Bachelors.
Okay.
And so I was Little Daddy and the Bachelors for a while, and then we got a new singer named Bobby Taylor. And we got discovered by Motown. Then we became Bobby Taylor and the Vancouvers.
Oh, right on.
And that was the last group that I was in.
Okay. Oh. Did you ever play at the Roxy?
As a band or
yeah.
cheech&chong?
Oh,
no,
never as a band. No.
Okay.
I quit the group in '68.
Okay.
So that's, we were together 66 to 68. Yeah, a couple of years.
So you've been back to the Roxy doing the stand-ups?
Well, Cheech and I played there.
Yeah.
Cheech and I played there for the 50th anniversary, Up in Smoke, or 40th anniversary. Yeah, 40th anniversary of Up in Smoke. we did a little.
How did
Little gig.
Can you tell us a story on how you first met Cheech?
Cheech. Well, Cheech was a college student that got in. He lost his draft deferment, and so he had to check out Canada for a few years. So he was up actually dodging the draft, and he eventually made his way over to Vancouver and joined an acting group that I had in one of the clubs that we had. And he was an actor writer in the improv group called the City Works. And then when the City Works broke up, as all groups do, Cheech and I stayed together and decided that we would take over the world with comedy. And we did.
You did.
You guys started deciding to get high.
Well, that never really took until we got down to LA.
Oh, really?
All the time we were in Canada, we did a lot of tits and ass jokes, a lot of stripper jokes, and very little weed jokes. And then we came to LA, and then we had a lot of weed jokes, but not enough. And then we found out that Cheech was Mexican. and then that was our meal ticket. That Mexican man. If you want to make it big in the States, you need a Mexican.
Hey, can you tell us another joke that you would use on stage?
What's that?
Can you tell us another good joke that you would use on stage, or?
No.
I'm guessing Cheech is not a big Trump supporter, eh?
He's more of a Trump supporter than I am. At least Cheech wants him to live, No, I'm the most anti-Trump guy, but Cheech eventually, Hey, Cheech is sort of apolitical, he'll put up with who's ever there, like me too, But when when Trump started attacking Mexicans, wanting to build a wall to keep them out and all that shit, then I had to step up and I've been doing a 4-year, as soon as Trump's out of office, it looks like I can retire my Trump material. But I've had quite a bit.
What do you think of the governor in California that's got everything stayed locked down, and they moved San Francisco 49ers out of San Fran?
Yeah. Well, you got to do what you got to do, because this virus is, it's killing people. And a game isn't worth anybody's life, So, yeah, we got to take this virus serious. We have, for the most part,
Yeah.
But now that Trump is on his way out, we'll be able to continue our recovery.
What's your favorite way to take weed, or ingest it, or smoke?
Right here. See this little thing here?
Yeah.
It's a little bamboo pipe, little bamboo one-hitter. Oh. And it's really good. I make a lot of these because they're disposable if you need to dispose them. If someone uses it you don't like, you can throw it away. Or, and it's perfect for one hitter because I got so much weed, I like to test each one differently, And so I like one hit out of this, one hit out of that, So this is my favorite way. But that's what I do. I make hand carved pipes. This is my new religious. It's my new religious symbol. You see what it is? You see what it is?
Yeah.
It's an electric car.
Oh.
That's the new religious symbol. That's what's going to save the world.
There's the electric car.
Yeah, that's what's saving the world.
Hey, Tom, my buddy has also dropped in from Oregon. He's got a couple questions for you. He's going to sit around and watch us.
How'd you get into Canada? Was it a hassle?
Oh no, they ain't gonna let me into Canada, man. They ain't let me up there.
Oh no, you ain't. Oh, you're in Oregon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing fine, man.
That's what's up.
I'm
That's
doing
what's
fine.
up.
Yeah, Canada's brutal.
Yeah, no, man. Me and Ryan have had some talks about me sneaking up there, but I know I'm gonna have to sneak back.
Oh no, man. No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. You know, when Bobby Taylor and the Vancouvers were discovered by Motown, we were an all-black band.
Oh wow.
But then two of the brothers, in celebration, they went home to Portland.
Oh wow.
And guess what? The band had to become white because the brothers couldn't get back.
Yeah.
And it's the only time the brothers ever told the truth when they crossed the border, and it was the only time they got stopped. And they would not let them in because they said, "Oh, if you're working for Motown, let me see some ID, some identification," and they never had any, and because we hadn't signed the contract. But so we had to get a drummer and an organ player, and we picked up a guitar player too from Vancouver. But they were incredible musicians, and so that's the Vancouvers. When you see us on the album, that's it, the white version.
Hey, how did we?
I really only got one good question, and it's something that really. I was watching Zootopia with my kids, man.
Yeah.
And I just started laughing as soon as Jax came on. And my daughter's looking over at me like, you know, what's and I was like, they put this in here just for the parents because they know.
Yeah, they knew.
How cool was that, man? Actually being a voice of a character like that.
Well, it was kind of bittersweet because I'd just been operated on for cancer. I just had part of my ass removed. And so I was still in the hospital. But my son came to pick me up. He says, I said, where are we going? He says, we got to stop by Disney. I said,
wow.
What for? He says, you're doing a voiceover. I said, oh, okay.
Wow.
And so we stopped. I did the voiceover, and then I went home and recovered. But yeah,
because you were also in that other one, Mike.
Lion King.
No, I wasn't. I turned that one down. That was Whoopi Goldberg. That was Cheech and Whoopi Goldberg. No, I refused to do Disney back Lion King time. You know, I regret it now, but Disney had a thing against Cheech and Chong for a while, and then when we got offered the Lion King, I still felt Disney was like, you know, like selling out, and so I refused to do it. Cheech did it, and Whoopi Goldberg did my part.
Okay.
Tommy, I was reading something. You might have been just an off the cuff comment, but you were talking about people with medical marijuana and the issues that they were having getting it during COVID, and you were looking at potentially kind of helping people acquire that. Was that just kind of a off the cuff kind of joke comment, or did you actually end up kind of putting something in work?
Well, no, we're putting we have a delivery system going now, a Cheech and Chong delivery system. And people and we do deliver to people that can't get out, you know. And I don't know, you know, I'm not personally involved with that part, you know, because, you know,
it's just your name on the business.
It's another department. Okay. But, yeah. The thing is, you know, when they legalized the pot, I was in Colorado when they legalized it here. And the lineup to get in looked like a lineup to see Jesus to get healed. They're on crutches, they're on wheelchairs. And it was like all the ones that needed their medicine. That's who's in line. And it made such a beautiful statement. Yeah, there was maybe hippie's dad or mom or something, but there was no hippies, definitely no hippies, because hippies don't need legal weed. What do we need legal weed for?
You can get it on your own.
Well, come on, you're not a hippie unless you got a good source.
Yeah. That's something that I've learned living up here in Oregon. I'm originally from Missouri, but the first time I came to Oregon, man, this dude, he was at a gas station and he was like, "Hey, you guys smoke?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he handed me a handful of weed, man, and like I thought somebody was pranking me. I thought like, "Yo, this is a setup."
You're from St. Louis, man.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
I don't know what's happening.
What's going on? Are you a cop? I know, man. See, I was the opposite. I'm the opposite because I grew up in Vancouver in Canada. You got weed, you just hand it
everywhere.
out.
That's right.
And so when I had to deal with narcs and when I went to prison, everybody was trying to get me stoned so I could get violated, and so they'd have a reason to put me in jail. And so I had to say no. I had to turn down weed. That was a hard thing for me to do, man.
What made you drop out of high school?
Algebra, I guess. Yeah, it was algebra. I tried to get my GED in jail, and I failed fucking algebra again. It doesn't make I just somehow I got some kind of block against shit adding up.
Oh, I have a good feeling it's probably the weed because that's the same shit I have going on in my head. I can't do anything with numbers and math. I can tell you how much shit weighs, but I can't tell you.
Well, it's a talent.
Yeah,
I know people like the guy I was in jail with, Jordan Belfort. He was.
Oh, you was in jail with Jordan Belfort? The wolf?
Yeah, the wolf. And he is a genius because he can do calculations in his head. And my son's like that too. My son can add up all sorts of shit in his head. Just, me, oh man, if you show it to me.
I can count money. That's about
money?
Yeah, I can count money.
I have a hard time with that. One time I bought some diamonds for my wife, and she still hasn't warned me because my taste isn't, her taste. But they're from a friend of mine, at the gym, and he was like a jeweler, and he gave me some sort of a discount, for wholesale or something. But they came to like $4,500 or something. So I gave him $450. and next thing you know, he's at my door huffing and puffing, like he ran all the way. He ran all the way. He said, "Hey man, you only give me $450." So sorry about that.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
Who is your most famous person you smoked with?
I guess George Harrison, I would say, the Beatle. Yeah. I was in the room with John, but he never smoked. And I've been around Ringo, but I've never smoked with Paul. That's my bucket list. He knows it too. And so we're just waiting for a chance for us to get together to smoke. But yeah. That's the only guy only Beatle. But I've smoked out with, Timothy Leary, and I used to get high all the time.
You smoked with Tyson before?
Not with Tyson yet. The invitation's there.
Yeah.
It's
What about
coming.
Willie Nelson?
Yeah. Not. We never shared the joint, but I was with Willie when we did a what do you call it? A video for Hank Williams Jr.
Okay.
You want to hear a funny story, man? Hank Williams Jr. is a fucking diehard racist. I didn't know this. I had no idea. And so the guy I grew up with the original singer, he was a black kid from Amber Valley, north of Edmonton. Tommy Melton. He was a singer. And Tommy grew up on country music like I did.
Yeah.
And so when I got invited to this party with Willie and Hank Williams Jr. and George Jones and all the heroes, come here. I said, Tommy, he was visiting me at the time in Nashville. I said, Tommy, come on, let's go to a party. Where I said, all our heroes are going to be there, George Jones, Willie, and everybody. So Tommy said, yeah, okay. So we go there, and it was okay. Everybody's milling around, and there are a lot of people there. George was drinking somewhere. I saw Willie for a second, but that's the way it is. So Tommy and I are hanging out. The next thing I know, this drunk white girl comes over. She goes, I really respect you. And both Tom and I looked at each other. We go, oh, shit. Because you know when it's coming. you know what's coming. And you didn't know that Hank Jr. is fucking racist. You didn't know that, did you? And I said, no, is he? And she goes, yeah, yeah. Having him here, that makes a hell of a statement. And Tommy and I looked at each other because we've been through this shit our whole career.
Yeah.
We played a gig one time in Olds, Alberta, Canada. Yeah. No, we never played there. Olds is the first town you pass when you're on your way to Edmonton. It's about 30 miles outside of Calgary, and it's close by, but it's centuries away. Literally 200-300 years in the past. We played a gig. We would play Calgary, and then we play Edmonton. We play Calgary, Edmonton, and so one time we played. I guess we went up to Edmonton for some reason. Anyway, coming back, our car broke down in Olds, Alberta. And so Tommy and I had to get out of the car and walk into Olds, Alberta, the town, in the middle of the day. And we're walking, and it's like an old Western town. There's no, almost tumbleweeds going through the street, and no one's on the street. There's it's hardly a street. And we saw like a pool hall, a hotel. And so that's where we're headed for. And this lady walks around the corner with a bag, a handful of groceries. And she saw Tommy and me. She dropped those groceries and went running. Went running. Because she had obviously never saw a black person in her life.
Yeah.
And then we went in. Then we went into the pool room, and it was like a movie, because it's dark, it's dark inside, light outside. And we can walk in, and the door closed, and we can't see, and they can't see, and then all of a sudden everything clears, and we can see each other, the people, and it's like a movie set, these big old farm boys looking at us.
Oh man.
Tommy and I, but they were cool. They looked for a second, then they went back playing pool, and then I got on the phone and phoned my dad and told my dad to come and get us, and we just sat in that pool room, but it was cool. But it was just such a culture shock for 30 miles outside of Calgary. And it's probably the same way now today as it was then.
There's some places here in Oregon that are like that too, and in Missouri too.
Yeah.
But I mean, like after a while, you kind of get used to it and you know what to expect. And
well, it's like hunting.
I promise you this shirt, I have 2 of them. I have a different one too. I wear this, I'm fine.
You're fine. Yeah.
I'm good.
It's your good ID. It's an ID. Yeah. Oh yeah. I wear mine all the time too. For the same reason.
Yep.
I get tons of respect, man. Tons of respect.
How did you guys come up with the Up in Smoke idea? Like, were those characters you guys built from the bottom and all the way up, or?
Well, we had worked live for 7 years before we did a movie, and so we had those characters down pretty good. And I got tired of touring, so I wrote a movie. But we ended up getting Lou Adler involved. You know, everybody got involved, and Lou wanted to do our greatest hits, Cheech&Chong's greatest hits. That was the working title of the movie. But Cheech and I decided that we're going to do these 2 characters, and I wrote a song, Up in Smoke. I wrote that song, and Cheech said, "Hey, that's the title," and then we started, just writing. I did the physical writing as far as writing on paper. I wrote about 40 pages of an outline, with some good jokes in it. But we added most of the real funny stuff, That's the whole premise. I wrote that, the marijuana ban and getting deported.
I just got a flashback.
Yeah, I did too. I got a flashback of that, but my favorite part's when at the beginning when. First of all, you got starts with the Rolls Royce logo, and it zooms back off the thing, and it's got just the grill of the Rolls Royce on a Volkswagen.
Isn't it? That was the art department. They came up with that gag. That was classic. Yeah. Everybody that worked on the movie came. They added everything. The actors did their own dialogue. Like Strother Martin, that you get a job by sundown. Yeah, he wrote all that himself. Stacy Keach wrote all his stuff, and his thing. Yeah, and Cheech and I, it was a labor of love. Once in a lifetime.
Yeah, my next favorite part of that was the part where obviously you're dressed up as a woman on the side of the road and Cheech pulls up to pick you up, and it's the only way I can get you to stop.
Oh yeah. I think that was one of the reasons that Cheech got tired of doing that character because I always made him the horny Mexican. Well, because that's what he is.
Yeah, I know, but that's the only way I can get anybody to stop.
We just make so much jokes of it, man. It was funny.
Yeah,
you got one?
That taught me a lesson about that one. Because one time when I had to hitchhike, I stuck the girl out on the road and I waited behind the bush because of your movie.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course. That was no. We weren't we weren't definitely not the first to do that.
Well, they weren't going to stop for me.
No. Oh no. I think we did. I think we hitchhiked once with our wives. No. Back in the day, yeah, we used to hitchhike around a lot. My wife and her girlfriend, her sister, when they were growing up, they took a bus at the last resort, but it was usually, hi.
Coach, you got one?
So I grew up as a 90s kid. So my introduction to you, Tommy, was that 70s show and your character, Leo. What was that like going from being, film, touring, doing your Cheech and Chong on stage show to having a regular role on a sitcom?
Oh, it was beautiful. It came at the right time. Everything happens to me at the right time, and that was definitely the right time. Cheech, I got offered Nash Bridges, but I definitely did not want to be a cop. You know, if I didn't want to work Disney, I sure wasn't going to be no fucking cop. So when they offered the part to me, they explained, you know, that they'd wrote it especially for me. And so it was hard to turn down. And so one of the things I tried to do, I tried to get my wife, you know, in the show because her and I had been working as a team, you know, for years, 20 years. And they wouldn't even talk to me about it. And so I fired my agent because I told my agent, I says, okay, I'll take it. I wanted to fire him anyway, as it turned out. I didn't know it, but it worked out so well. But anyway, no, it was great. It was great. It was good that she never got on the show. It would have changed the dynamic, you know. But no, you know, I had to come up with a character. And so
were you trying to play her? Would she have been your wife, or were you trying to think of something else, maybe a little more zany to slide her in as?
Oh, what, my wife?
Yeah, if she had gotten a part, what did you have?
The way she was saying it, she just wanted a little bit part. She just wanted to be, you know, involved.
Oh, okay.
But the trouble is, she's too beautiful, and you know, she would have had to take someone else's part. You know, it would have. You know, she could have had bit parts, but it's better to happen this way. You know, because she's not an actress, really. She's my partner. Yeah.
Do you drink?
Not booze.
No, just straight green.
Not like water, stuff like that. You know. No,
Have you ever greened out before?
Dreamed out?
No,
Greened.
Greened out. It's basically when
greened
you smoke so much weed, you basically need to call for help.
Oh, many times, except I couldn't call. I was too fucked up.
Yeah, it's those damn rotisserie phones.
Listen, I did. What did I do? Oh, I did some Rick Simpson oil.
Oh, boy.
And I did a dab, a dollop.
Yeah.
I was gone for 2 days. 2 days. And I had Cheech and his son pitch me a movie, and I'm like, it was like breakfast at Bernie's, you know. I couldn't get out of the basement. I stayed in the basement almost all night because I could not get up, and I really had to remind myself, you know, okay, let's go over. How do you get up again? You know, okay, legs. You know, I had to go over that shit, you know. Just a minute. But okay, I'm up, but where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Oh no, it was crazy. And then when I finally get up to bed, oh, that was the struggle. I don't remember really getting into bed, but I remember being in bed. And then
that's how I go to sleep most nights as well.
Yeah. You like to get that blasted, huh?
Oh, my mind's mostly from drinking.
Oh, yeah, the drinking. Yeah, well, be careful with that, you know, because that'll tear up. Well, you know, you do what you got to do. You know, my son went through that thing. He's out of it. He's out of it. He met a woman.
That's his problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
That really is his problem. That's his problem.
That's right. That's what wives do. You know, they're like a signpost. Okay, time to change. If you want this. Yeah.
He's still waiting for his growth spurt too.
They've been telling me my growth spurt's been coming since elementary school, so I at least tell the chicks I'm a couple inches taller, knowing that it might come overnight.
Well, that kind of explains the type of chicks you go out with, doesn't I got the picture.
They're
Hey, a lot of them are gorgeous. Oh, a lot of them are. Whoa.
a lot of them are definitely taller than me too.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's cool, man. Hey, listen, some of the best stuff I got was 6 foot, about 6'4". Yeah, but you're all the same size when you lay down, man.
That's fact.
It all fits together nicely.
Yeah, they do.
Oh,
As long as my legs can touch the bedpost, I'm pretty happy.
yeah. It was not about the bedpost.
So
I'm
I was just watching, Tommy, actually going back to Greening Out. I just kind of old streaming through Netflix like you said you were doing earlier, and I came across the Trailer Park Boys episode where you and Rob Wells decided to have a smoke off. Was that real? Was all that real?
All that real. Real weed, real bong, real everything.
How long? How did you guys get him off the ground?
We never. It's a Trailer Park Boys, man. And Nova Scotia. That's a different breed. That's a different breed of person, man. You know. if you've ever been there, man, woo. The extremes, you know.
Yeah.
You can see our ancestors. You know. It goes way back, all the way to the beginning, too.
Shit.
Well, hey, yo, Tommy, I gotta go. I gotta jump, but I just need one favor for you. Could you do me one favor?
Sure.
Can you just say, "Hey, B-Style, this is Tommy Chong. Turn that shit up."
Hey, B-Style, this is Tommy Chong. Hey, turn that shit up.
Thank you.
Hey, you know. I'll tell you what he's gonna do here. Tell him what you're doing with that B. I know what you're doing.
So I'm finna put that in a song, and it's gonna be dedicated to you. I'll make sure you get a good listen. It'll be super dope, super dope. Thank you again, man. Like you've been a part of my childhood, my growing up. It's a blessing that you're here. It's a blessing that you teaching everybody about the CBD. I know about it being here in Oregon. A lot of my friends, you know what I'm saying, they have CBD crops out here. I'm pretty sure you know what goes on in Oregon. But
yeah,
blessings to you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you too, Ryan. Mike, I holler at y'all, man. Y'all stay up.
Thanks, B. Appreciate it, man. Have a good night.
Bro.
Peace.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
You go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Tommy, I know you used hemp oil quite a bit for your cancer. You still using it?
I used CBD oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hemp oil. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
No, I don't inject it anymore. I was injecting it for a while, right into the muscle. But no, I do supplements. No, I just had a checkup and blood work, and I'm cool. Everything's good.
Right on.
I'm borderline diabetic. That means I got to stay away from the sugar.
Well, it's because you get the munchies and you start eating.
Tell me about it, man.
That's my next question. What's been your go-to quarantine snack, your go-to drink, and your go-to smoke?
He doesn't drink.
I don't drink.
Doesn't have to
I
be
drink
booze.
kombucha. I drink
there
kombucha.
You go. There you go.
Are you hip to kombucha?
Yes, I've had it. Yes, I have.
It's got a little bit of alcohol.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do drink. I drink kombucha, and I do. I make bongs with the kombucha bottles.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my hobby. That's my hobby. Peeling the labels off kombucha bottles.
Yeah,
I'm 8% native, and so I've got all these native habits. You know. Now my munchie food, if I'm of sane mind, I've got carrots and fresh celery. You know, and but if I'm crazy,
out of the fridge?
But if I'm crazy, my wife bakes and she's always got something really healthy baked somewhere. And if I go real crazy, I'll make myself some toast. and yeah, but keep me away from those gummy bears or those anything chocolate or anything.
No ice cream,
anything candy, ice cream, anything like that, man. I will have a cheat day, maybe 4 days in a row, but no, my wife is very, very aware. If you look her up, Shelby, she's gorgeous. She's got the most gorgeous body, and she works at it. She works hard, and so it's small portions. You can eat whatever you want, but it's small portions, and I'm into the small portions. But I kind of nibble all day anyway. I'm like a bird, just peck at shit.
I got a question from my buddy up in Vernon, actually, Sam Hudson. He's asking me to ask you, what's been the key to longevity? Career spanned over decades, including music, TV, film, and activism. What motivates you to wake up in the morning and create content that pushes culture forward?
You gotta fool your body. I've managed to fool my body. Keep it cool, because it's stress that kills you. Stress, worry, fear, worry of the unknown, regretting the past, what you could have done. That's stress. That puts a lot of stress on. And when you're under stress, your body doesn't work perfectly because it's always under stress. So that's why they put people into comas so they'll heal, so they'll quit them worrying, turn off the mind, And so the key to anything, the key to life, and I imagine it'll evolve into longevity, is that we're only here to help others. If we cease helping others, then our time gets short, because we're only here to help each other. And we're only here, to learn. If you stop learning and you stop helping each other, then your ticket gets shorter. The recall thing gets a little shorter. They need you back there to send you on your next journey, you see.
Yeah.
And so the key to longevity isn't really how many years you can live, it's how many healthy, happy years you can live. And the only way you can be happy is when you're helping somebody. I don't care who it is. You met them. You met people that they're so nice. And then you find out, they got a grandma that they kind of have to help, or they got an uncle or a dad or a sister or a brother. Like Ashton Kutcher, for instance. Ashton's got a twin that has mental problems. And that's why Ashton is so nice, because he's had to help his brother his whole life, so helping people, and then living healthy, treating your body like it's your best friend, not your enemy.
Exactly.
Definitely not your competitor.
Right.
Treat your body like it's your best friend, and your best friend wants to look good, you see. So if you want to look good, you got to use that body. That body was meant to be used, and not just making love, but it's got to be used like the arms and the shoulders and the calves and all those muscles. They're there for a reason. They're there to get you around, to make you look good, to make you attractive. Well, you want to be attractive. You want to attract that other sex or that other partner, because you want to have someone that you can be nice to.
Can you put in a good word with Mila Kunis for me?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the key to longevity is happiness, and the way to be happy is to help others. That's it.
I agree with you. Prince, you got anything?
Right. It is the key to life. I mean, everything, especially with happiness and all that, because I think that makes everything in life good. But one of my questions is, all right, Pee Wee Herman, back in the days with the shows, yo, did he get high? Or any time you see him be like, you know what, let me get one puff?
Nope. Nope. Pee Wee Herman did not smoke up around
He
me.
did?
Nope.
Because I
See,
always wonder, I was like, he's always in Cheech and Chong movies. I know he got to get high.
no. We put him in there because he didn't get high.
That's
Because
still dope.
he was that perfect everybody that we needed at that
Right.
time.
And how did that come about, too?
Well, no, when you do comedy, you want to be around other people that make you laugh, that are funny. You know, you don't want to hog everything yourself. You want to share it. And so that's what we did. We shared Michael Winslow, Pee Wee Herman. We had all the, and I used, I liked improvisational acting style. And so I used all the groundlings that I could find, every groundling I could find. That's a little improvisational group in LA. But no, no, surprisingly, Cheech and I, on Up in Smoke, Cheech and I were the only ones that, would smoke, really.
Was really smoked. Wow, because I always thought, I was like, man, I think he looked high sometimes. I was like, big smoke? Like, because it looked like he pulled it off real well.
Oh,
Real.
no, that's Pee Wee, man. He is crazy. He is very, very, very talented. So funny. And it's not nowhere near his character, his Pee Wee character. Paul Rubens is a whole different number. Yeah. It's they're all geniuses, man. Everybody I work with, I would not hesitate to say that there was there's genius in everybody. And we just lucked out. We just cut. We caught it. We cut.
What is your personal highlight or low light?
There's a couple. The
ones you can
one highlight was when we came to LA. My brother-in-law, my first marriage. I was married to a black lady named Maxine, and her brother Floyd was the drummer for the Three Dog Night. He was the original drummer for the Three Dog Night. So Three Dog Night was very big before Cheech and I even became Cheech and Chong. And we were just in the improv group when they saw us. And then when we became Cheech and Chong, we looked them up in LA, and they managed us for a couple of months. Really, they couldn't do anything because they're a music management team and we're a comedian. So we had to do everything ourselves. And eventually we came to the parting of the ways. I asked them for some money and they told us to fuck off. So we parted the ways. And then we're on our way for our first Grammy, because every album we ever recorded got a Grammy nomination, starting with the very first album. And so the first album we did it in about a month. It was so fast. And so we met the Three Dog Night people on the elevator at the Grammys going up to get their award. Because they got nominated too. And we're on the same elevator with the managers, and we kind of laughed, and who'd have thought, But it was
Has anyone ever had
moment.
you starstruck?
I got over that really, really quick with Jack Nicholson, who's, by the way, it was his Volkswagen that we used in Up in Smoke.
Oh, there you go.
But the first time I saw Jack Nicholson, I was at a party with Lou Adler's party, and I was in a room. I'd just gotten high. John Lennon was in the room, and Rod Stewart came in, but I smoked it all by myself. And so I walked out. I'm really high, and I run into Jack Nicholson, and I remember Jack from a movie called Last Detail. where he played some kind of army guy. And there's a scene in there where Jack combs his hair for fucking 10 minutes at least. And he's got no hair. There's nothing there to comb. But he stood there and combed it for 10 minutes. And so when I saw him, I said, Jack, there's something I always wanted to ask you. When you were doing that scene where you're combing your hair, was that you? Was that written in there? It was like really a stupid question. He didn't answer. He just looked at me, excuse me, and he just pushed me aside and he walked by me like I was some poop on his shoe.
Did you smoke with Jack?
Funny. No. I've rode to the Laker game with him a few times. No, Jack likes to get high with his ladies. There's a reason Jack does everything. He's kind of over the hill now. He hit that why you shouldn't drink so much phase in his life.
What's that like going with Jack to Lakers games? Because he essentially is royalty there. What's that experience?
Well, that was no. Listen, when you're with these guys, there's no royalty. Maybe with fans, but not with each other. No, we were riding.
No, sorry, I meant more of his Jack at the Lakers games is like Spike Lee at Knicks games. Like it's not.
Oh yeah. No, with us, no. Jack was never dull. In fact, Jack was the reason we quit going to the Laker games, and it was the reason that we wrote Basketball Jones, because we got it. Lou, we're at Lou's house, and Lou said, "Hey, you're going to the game? Okay, well, okay. Why don't you ride with Jack? Blah blah blah." And so we ended up with Jack Nicholson in his Mercedes. And so we get to Manchester to the Forum, and Jack starts driving down the wrong side of the road, like going about 80 miles an hour. Down the wrong side of the road, oncoming traffic. 80 miles an hour. Cheech is in the back seat and he's nervous. And when Cheech gets nervous, he starts singing songs that he writes, other songs. And he's singing in the back seat going, I got Basketball Jones, got Basketball Jones, got Basketball Jones. And we finally made it. No problem. No one got hurt. But the next day we went in and recorded. I wrote the lyrics and Cheech sang the song, and that's how we got Basketball Jones. But Jack, man, we never rode with Jack again. In fact, we never got offered either. But he's a little bit entitled.
Okay. That was a good Hollywood story right there. But could you tell us another Hollywood story? Well, my question was to have you tell us a Hollywood story. But you already told a great one, so I'm wondering there must be another one in there somewhere.
It depends on which one.
Any hockey players?
Right now. Gretzky.
Whoa. Hang on.
Okay. This isn't a funny. It's not funny or anything, but it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird because a friend of ours, George Blondheim, had a block for years about that name. But anyway, George Blondheim, piano composer from Edmonton, really good friends with Wayne Gretzky. Really good friends. George dated some Wayne's, I don't know, some cousin. I don't know. Anyway, they were very, very tight. Gretzky's at his height in hockey with Edmonton. They come to the Forum to play the Kings, and there's a show called Miracle on Manchester.
Oh,
Miracle on Manchester Avenue. And what happened? Now, the plan was that we were going to go to the game, see the game, then hang out with Gretzky after the game. So we're at the game. It goes into overtime. Goes into another overtime. And the Kings win it by 1 goal. It was the greatest comeback in the history of the Kings. And they beat the great Gretzky. So in my infinite wisdom, I think, well, he's not going to be in any good mood tonight. So no sense in hanging around, and how are you going to be happy when the Kings beat them as bad as And so we kind of told George we couldn't make it, and so we kind of punked out on it. And then we talked to George later, and Gretzky was so hurt and so mad, so pissed off, because he was a big fan. And he didn't give a shit about the game. It's another game. So what? How many games do you play? How many chances do you get to hang out with Cheech and Chong? So that was my sad. And I haven't met Wayne face to face yet.
Ever?
Nope. No. I hung out with Messier for a while.
Yeah,
Had a couple of.
probably smokes the blunts, I bet. But
who smokes? Darren
McCartney.
Darren McCartney. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had him on the show a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I smoked with him actually. We were, in fact, I kind of inspired him back east. But yeah, we did a couple of some kind of opening or something together.
All right, thank you, Tommy. We appreciate
Thank you so much, Tommy.
Thank you.
All right, man. Take care.
Blessing. Where are we sticking around?
Tommy motherfucking Chong. Hey, I'm good with one question. That was all I wanted. Hey.
My next question is how'd you get unmuted?
Hey, you mute me, you motherfucker.
Oh.
I was like, yo, he muted me. I was like, oh shit. Gotta be quiet.
No, that was really good. I thought it went really well. I mean, we got a good amount of time out of him. So
yeah, that was a full hour. I didn't expect it to go that long. I didn't know how long he was going to keep talking. So
he is fucking funny. Like I was fucking crying.
It was that
funny.
Jack Nicholson story is ridiculous. Him just fucking flying down the other side of the road.
Yeah. Him talking about screwing tall chicks was the one for me. I was like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, and when he started going at Ryan, it was fucking awesome.
That clip where we were bantering and we were going, that one real peak of the episode part. We're taking that clip, and that's going to be on Facebook.
How many guys can say they got fucking chirped by Chong?
And I gave it back.
Facts. For real. Yo, that was good. That was good. And I liked how Billy had the shirt too. I was like, yo, that's even way better.
I saw B-Styles had the shirt on. I don't have any Tommy Chong gear. Can't cross the border in that. You can't cross the border in that.